is about, just the money and the duplication. Yes, there's a lot of money in this comp plan. And I've already shown a chart and developed a chart to demonstrate those numbers. But this call really is all about mindset, because if you don't get your mind right, you will never achieve the goals. You will never achieve the numbers that are represented in the Power of Six, you guys. And so we meet every Tuesday, every Wednesday night at 9 p.m. Eastern. And like I said, it's wonderful because we get a chance to hear stuff that we don't normally hear on other calls, because this is only about mindset and helping you reach your goals. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to share my screen. And as you know, we have, let me see if I can get this up. We have come up with a topic for tonight's call called the missing ingredient. Okay, this is a success series that we put together, and it's called this missing ingredient. Many times, I hear people say, what am I doing? What am I doing wrong? I'm doing everything I think I'm supposed to do, but for some reason I'm not hitting this rank, or I'm not doing this, or I'm not making the kind of money I want to make. And there's a reason for all of that, you guys. Everything, there's a reason for everything, okay? And so that's the reason I want to talk about the missing ingredient, is because many of the things we talk about are inspired by things that happen during the week in our organization, and they make me want to see what I can share to help address that issue. And so the missing ingredient, you guys, let me just first off start out by saying, see, this opportunity is voluntary. No, this is not mandatory. No one is twisting your arm or anything like that to say, you have to do this. No, you do not have to do this. And therefore, if you're deciding to do this, why not go ahead and do the things that it takes for you to be successful? Okay, so this is voluntary. You get to decide, but you must have the desire, you guys. And then you need to make a decision to win, just like I just said. Now, everyone has a will to win, but very few have the will to prepare to win. See, so many people say, oh yeah, I want to make all this money, but are they willing to do what it takes? Are they willing to prepare themselves to win? That's what we're going to be talking about tonight. So what I want to do right now is I want to share a quick video with you. And this will kind of, let me get back to the, y'all know this stuff is hard doing these PowerPoints. Let me get to this right screen here. I want to share a quick video with you that will hopefully get this point across. All right, you guys. I hope you enjoyed that video, and I'm pretty sure, there were some things on that video that kind of caught your attention. And let me get back to my slide. You heard it, on the video talking about belief fuels enthusiasm, which explodes into passion. See, belief, and you probably heard this before. Hearing is believing. The way you believe, the way you raise your belief level is you've got to listen. You got to plug in, and I'm pretty sure everybody on this call, if you're not, the fact that you're even on this call tells me that you're plugged into the Zooms. You're plugged into events that we have. But the way you're raising your belief level, it takes work. It's not. I mean, it's not that hard to get on a Zoom, but it does take work. It's not just going to fall into your lap. And when you hear the testimonies really are what does it, you guys. And it's such an emotional experience listening to those testimonies. So it takes belief. Okay. Some people haven't built, there are people that don't have not raised their belief level because they're too lazy or indifferent to even get on a Zoom. Okay. Belief influences our action. See, when you believe in something, you take action, sharing the patches and the opportunity, attending events, just familiarizing yourself with the product, the content, and the system. I know brand new people that I've talked to this week that are going through the whole this is it back office. They're going on this is it info, everything, because they're so excited. They're raising the more they do that, the more they're raising their belief level. Supporting your team. See, if you believe in this, and especially believe that you're going to earn money, that your the compensation plans work, you're going to be supporting your team, whether it's doing testimonies. And that's another thing. I just, once we're talking about it, I want to challenge everybody that every time you hear testimony, keep a little book somewhere and say, Linda Giles has a testimony on such and such. Just keep it there, because every week we rely on those testimonies, and it's hard for us to go and search for all these different people because we don't hear them all. But the testimonies, you guys, is the secret sauce. Okay. You heard on that video about clearly defined goals. When you have clearly defined goals, they can capture enthusiasm and inspire passion. A couple weeks ago, we had Bishop Jackson on or maybe 3 weeks ago, and we were talking about vision and writing it down. See, when you write it down, it gets you excited, and you have to see that written. The reason you want to see it, put it someplace where you can see it so that you can get excited every single day, so you can visualize it. It's very important to know exactly what it is you want to do. For example, when you first get started, and one of the things we suggest you do is make a list of 100 names. You may not be able to make all those names in one day. It may take you 3 or 4 days to make that list, but commit to it so that you will make a goal to expose all of these people to the pro system. The pro system is on this is it. That's, patching people and revisiting and following up with them to see if they, use the patch, have they had any results, and exposing them to the opportunity. That's the pro system. But you want to try to go through all of those names within 30 days. What does that mean? If you do a launch call within the first few days you get started, hopefully you may do another one within 30 days. Or if you get enough of those people, expose enough of those people to a video or something like that, and then get them on an opportunity call, because the opportunity call is where the testimonies are, right? And then if you do this for yourself, then you turn around and duplicate this. This is a goal that I would encourage each of you to do. The whole thing about duplicating. I see so many people, I hit manager. They got their 4 in their menu. They stop in there. Number one, 4 is not enough, because those 4 may not be the right 4 to get you to where you want to get in the business. 4 people are not going to take you to the top of the company. But in addition to that, you want to duplicate, because you're not going to grow if you don't help the people that you brought on board do the same thing that I just said for you to do. And that is to get those names and expose them. You guys, this is all we do. This is we take our list, and you would never really run out of people if you get your people in and then help them go through. You will be working so deep. Guess what that's called? That's called tap rooting. Tap rooting means, let's say, I'm going to use my ABCs. Let's say I enroll someone named Angela, and Angela enrolls somebody named Betty, and Betty enrolls somebody named Cindy, and Cindy enrolls somebody named Donald. Donald enrolls somebody named Everett. Everett enrolls someone named Frank. That means that Frank or whoever, that's the last person that enrolled. Do you realize that every last one of those people, the volume that those people generate every single week, that rolls all the way up to you. Every single person in that line benefits from what Frank does. And so therefore, don't you think we all have an incentive to help Frank be successful? But that's what happens when you duplicate, because even if you don't have the structure in place, say, to be a director, you can still get paid up to $1,500 a week as a manager. So don't, get frustrated if your structure is not there yet. It takes getting the right people to solidify the structure, but you want to keep going deep, because that volume, all those people in between, they're going to get excited. Oh my God, I got 1,000 points. Oh my God, I got 1,500 points, because they're seeing that's going to motivate them. That's why you want to tap. That's why you want to duplicate. So, and also another example, set a goal of qualifying for an incentive trip. We got an incentive trip coming up. It is coming up it's going to be in November, right? Well, the qualification period, well, first of all, this form right here, I just put this form in here to remind you that the ProStrat, this is a good way to keep up with people as you're patching them, their name, their cell phone number, whether or not they've looked at this is an info, or whether you share that information, you patched and placed the patches, whether or not you placed the patch or just dropped it in the mail, whether they looked at the doctor, and have you invited them to Zoom, have you introduced them to your upline. I don't like people to introduce people to me unless the person is interested in doing the business, because customers, you can't talk to every single person. Okay. But if the person is interested and motivated to make money, you want someone else to inspire that person that this is a good opportunity. So this is a form that under downloads on thisisitteam.com, go under downloads and print this out. Okay. But this is the form that I was getting ready to talk about. This is the form that, let me see if I could make it bigger. The incentive trip to Punta Cana, you have from April 29th, which is next Monday, through September the 1st. Do you realize that if you at least get to senior director, it has to be after April 29th. It can't be Sunday. It can't be Saturday. It's got to be after Monday. Please pay attention to that. If you hit senior director between this time frame, do you realize you automatically go to Punta Cana? Your airfare is included, your hotel, everything. And it's a beautiful resort. I think I saw something somewhere, but it's beautiful. But now you only have to qualify. There's a requirement of having 10,000 points to be senior director. You only have to have 10,000 points 6 times, 6 different weeks between April 29th and September. That is very generous. Okay, between September 1st, that is very generous. Now, if you are able to come, but let me show at the bottom of the form, it says that you automatically get okay. If you get enough points with 80, I think it's 85 points, you're going to get 2 trips and 2 flights. Okay, now I know what it is. If you get 60 points, let's say you got a spouse and you want them to go. If you want your spouse to go, then both of you get to go, and then you don't have to worry about your flight. You get 1 flight. But if you had 2 trips and if you got 85 points, you can get 2 flights. I think this is what this is saying, that your spouse is not paid for if you have 60 points, or whoever you invite. It could be a teammate. It could be a teammate that you invite. But if you have 85 points, both of your flights are paid for. Okay. But the other person just gets to come to the trip and the room is covered. But do you see that? So just get that form now. As you rank up, as people that you have brought if you're ranking up yourself, you get these points. But if you got people that you personally enroll and they you know, rank up to manager, director, or senior director, you get certain points. However many you did this week, you put, if any one of these people ranked up, you put the point, you get 2. Okay, listen, I'm not gonna sit here and try to explain this form because they haven't even put the rules out of there, but just try, you know, I'm pretty sure somebody, you know, and the company is gonna be keeping track of it too, but this is just for you to keep track, okay? Now, edification. You know, we're talking about what's missing. Please remember what we're talking about. We're talking about the missing ingredient. Edification is very important. I have gotten on calls before, and literally somebody said, you know, they asked me if I could do a 3-way, and they got me on the form, and he said, Verdita, this is Cindy, and Cindy, this is Verdita. And that was it. They didn't say, you know, Verdita, even they didn't even say, Verdita, Cindy just joined our team, or she's interested in you, or whatever. Whatever the purpose of that could have been, a 3-way to close somebody. They never, the way you edify someone is very important. What you want to do is add value to the person that you're putting on the call. So in other words, if someone were introducing to me, I really don't want people calling me no senior presidential director. I just want them to say that Verdita and her husband are really helping a lot of people in this company. You know, they've been very, very successful. You could say they've reached the top rank. The reason I say that, you could say that because no one knows what a senior presidential director is if they're not in a company. Just say they reached the top rank in the company because they've helped so many people. Why do you want to say they help so many people? Because when you say help so many people, that person, if they are what we call a whale, whales are people that love helping people, people like nurses, people like doctors, people like pastors, people like that, psychologists, they like helping people, okay? So you want to say they love helping people, but she is so resourceful and knowing the information that, and people, when you say that, you're getting the attention of somebody we call an urchin. An urchin is a person that wants to know all the facts. They don't care nothing about how much money you made. They don't care. They want to know the facts. Why? Because they're an engineer or they are an accountant. What else? People who like details. And sometimes you get upset when somebody takes so long to enroll. Why do they do that? Is because they like to look at thisisinfo.com. Make sure you give that website to them. If you just say, just tell it and just start rattling off, telling everything you know, and don't provide them with the info, first of all, you may lose them. But if you need to give that person time, if they, especially if they've never done any type of network marketing before, they want to see the information. That is an urchin. Okay, we already said whale, helping people. They love to help people. They've got the information. They're really, you know, been able to you know, benefit from this compensation plan. You know, they're really mastering this and making some serious income. And she knows that compensation plan like no other. The last one is having fun. Now, one thing I like about Verdita and Harvey, there's so much fun to be around. And I knew that you would enjoy talking to her, something like that. You've already said the qualifications. You know, I like helping people. I know the information. I know the details, and you know, we like to have fun. You've already said all that. So you just say something. I knew that she would be the perfect person for you to talk to. But let's say that if I'm an interior designer and I'm your prospect, and you know somebody else in the business, or you know someone is coming into the business that's a interior designer, I may be a good person to talk to from that standpoint, you know, because we have something in common. Okay, so edify each other. Now, also, let's say that was Cindy who was introducing me. When she finally introduces me, guess what I have to do? I have to turn back and edify Cindy. I have to say, you know what? I have had so much fun working with Cindy because we're like-minded. We both like to win, and she's doing everything that she can to make sure she's, you know, getting the information and you know, just she's just very intentional about helping people or whatever. Say something to edify Cindy. Why? Because you want her prospect. That could be her sister. That could be some other business. You want that prospect to feel like, oh, Cindy might be a good person for me to enroll with. I feel good about Cindy now because I didn't know that all that stuff about Cindy. So that's why it's important to edify. It's a three-way street, okay? Now, edify the product, the company, and the team. So, and when I get, if you're talking to people, that's why it's so important to study in your spare time the product. I mean, there's all kinds of videos. Study the testimonies. You don't have to know everything, but you got to get that belief in your system. So you want this product. I've never seen any product in my whole life that does what this product does. That's why you edify the product. And you can edify it by, if you've ever been on a phone call with me, you're not getting off that call unless I probably said 3 testimonies, because that's just the way I close people with testimony. You edify the product, edify the company. We're number 1. We're the fastest growing company in momentum. Edify the team. Our team is growing so fast because, we've got some great leaders, that type of thing. Edify each other in conversations with other partners. If you're talking to one of your team members, you want to edify your upline. You want to edify somebody. If you're talking about anybody in our team you want to edify them. Edify Steve Merritt. Edify, other people who are presenting on Wednesday night, like tonight, whoever presented, you wanted to edify them in conversations with. I tell people all the time, you don't want to miss this call because that girl is sharp. She's going to break it down. So edification, guess what that edification just did even to you? It made you want, if I was talking to you, you'd want to get on that call because you wouldn't want to miss it. You realize the person who's delivering is going to be good. Now, establish yourself as a leader. You guys, the way you establish it's very important to establish yourself as a leader. First, follow your leader and the system and learn as quickly as you can. See, the reason you want to get on all these different calls, opportunity calls, Saturday training is so that you can learn enough. And that's what we mean by following your leader and the system, so that you can learn quickly. You cannot really help your team if you are not learning yourself. So, like, people call me, some of the weirdest things happen where someone will call me and well, anyway, they really could have called their sponsor, or I know, I already know the person and their sponsor and on up. Why couldn't they have called someone between me and that person? And the reason they may not do that is because maybe they don't feel comfortable with their sponsor or their leader or who's supposed to be their leader. This is why, and so I'm willing to help, don't get me wrong, but I'm trying to say, if you're wondering why your team is not calling you, it's because you have not established yourself as a leader. But not only that, you want to just take things into your own hands, and your team will begin to see you as their leader. A person doesn't see you as a leader if you don't, posture yourself and make them feel good when they get off the phone with you. You guys, it is very important that you make people feel good when you get off, when you get on the phone with them. You want them to walk away, say, dang, that was a good 3-way call. Okay. This is something, this has nothing to do with, but this has to do with the missing ingredient. You guys, I had an experience last week that really upset me because we had a person that had quite a bit of points under them. They've been on AutoShip all this time, and all of a sudden something must have happened with the person's card, and it was too late. It was, you have until midnight. Let's say your AutoShip is on Tuesday and your card got declined for whatever reason, and you really have until midnight that Sunday to get to rectify the situation, place the order, whatever you have to do. But if it's past that Sunday night, there is nothing that we can do. I promise you, they are not going to give you those points back. Of course, this person was very disappointed, but I told that person right then and there, and this is something I want to suggest all of us do. I'm challenging you, please write this down. Go, if you're not on AutoShip, first of all, you need to be on AutoShip. I'm gonna address that in a moment, but go to your back office, click, if you've already set your AutoShip up, click on the tab that says monthly subscription, and there's a little option with a blue button or something for you to click on that button for just set an alternate payment. alternate form of payment. Now, what's going to happen is it's going to allow you to put another credit card in. Okay. Another way you can do this is go into your back office and click on change settings. And on the left-hand side, you see where it says forms of payment or payment methods or something like that. You can add another card there. And you want to make sure that the card that is going to be run every month is designated as your primary card. When you, if you do not have an auto ship set up, immediately get with your sponsor and tell them to show you how to, this is if you want to build a team now, okay? Because in order to make money, you have to have an auto ship, okay? Because most of us are not going to write it in our calendar and remember when that auto ship is due. The way you make money in residual income is when all those people below you place their orders every month. And when they place their orders, that's equivalent to money. So you can't make money if you don't have points, bottom line. Okay. So that's something I really want to challenge you to do. This is kind of blurry the way I have it up here, but I want you to know that there's an event this weekend that is going to be awesome. Executive Director, Mr. Lester Berry, is going to be going. He lives in Dallas, but he has a team in the Michigan area, Detroit area to be exact. It says Farmington Hills, but that's like Detroit. I know Miss Erica McQueen has a team nearby Detroit, and they're coming to this event. That room is, I went up there one time with Lester. This is his third time going. And this, the room was packed. Okay, it was about 50 people the very first time we went up there. And so I want you to know this will be a great event. I believe another leader from Seattle, Mr. Harry, can't think of Harry's last name, but anyway, he's a director, and he will be going to that event as well. So you're going to have some leaders in the house. It's going to be a powerful event. So get your people there. Also, Presidential Director, Mr. Reggie Stewart, will be presenting at an event in Mobile, Alabama. So if you know anybody near this area as well, this next Tuesday, Central Time, maybe Central Time, you guys, and it's going to be hosted by Tony Curry. So get your people to that event. And that's how we, let's say, for example, your sister lives there. Don't necessarily wait until Tuesday to get her, for her to go. Expose her to some information, you guys. Edify the event. Remember, we was talking about edification. Edify the event. Edify, first of all, if she's never heard anything, edify the information. Edify the patch. Edify the information, the company, all this. Edify, you don't want to miss this. I got somebody, a special person coming to Mobile. That's how you edify and promote for an event. Okay. I know I'm going to be looking and seeing who do I know in any of these areas. Okay. So you can, all these events are in our back office under, and not our back office, under a site that we all have at our disposal called Digital Alliance 101.com. Ken Robinson, our upline SPD, created that site for us. If you go to upcoming events, you'll see these two flyers. Okay. Now, another event I want to tell you about is This Is It Convention.com. You remember I showed you, well, I didn't show it to you, but This Is It Convention.com is in July. This is their teams convention. This is where you're going to get to be recognized for hitting your goals, hitting your ranks. And you want to bring as many people on your team there, because the more people that you bring on your team, they say that in network marketing, however many, your team is going to multiply 10 times the number of people that you invite to the team. And I know that every time we've gone to a convention, that convention was July of, let me see, when was it? It was August of last year. Guess what happened in September? My husband and I hit senior presidential director the very next month. Okay. And it was because we had so many people that showed up at the convention. So we do have a bus leaving in Atlanta. For those of you who are in Atlanta, once again, go to digitalalliance101.com. And if you scroll down to the middle of the page, you're going to see a link that takes you to, it says Atlanta, like a bus leaving Atlanta to Orlando, because it's going to be in Orlando, Florida. And you want to fill out that form, because that's how you get on the bus. It's $125 round trip. You guys, we're going to have so much fun on that bus. And it's only a 6.5 hour drive, but I'd rather just ride on a bus than to be driving, because if you fly, it's kind of expensive right now because that is Disney World and it is summertime. But go to thisisaconvention.com and there's a form, fill out the form. You can pay a deposit of $200 and some for you and your teammate and whoever you share the room with. And it's going to save you to have at least two, you and at least another person in the room. You can get 3 or 4. You know how we have pajama parties and stuff. If it's 4 females together, that'd be kind of fun. Or you can have 3 in the room. But please go to that site. You do not want to. And the ticket, they have extended the early bird price to the middle of May. So we still got 3 weeks to take advantage of early bird pricing, you guys. So with that being the case, we always have action items before, when we have a call. So the first action item is this. I want to ask you to evaluate what areas you need to improve. We talked about things to, raise your belief, talking about getting on calls, talking about, learning about testimonies and different things like that. Evaluate the areas you need to improve. Are you encouraging your teammates to launch their business? And are you doing any of those launch calls yourself? If you have been in this business over 3 months, you really, and if you're listening to the opportunity, because you should be in a position, because all you're doing is reading some slides and adding some excitement. It doesn't even have to be 100 people on a call. It could be 3 or 4 people, but you got to start practicing. And because when you practice, you become more natural. Let's just put it that way. Set goals for the number of teammates attending the convention. That's another goal. Try to get as many people on your team. And, even if you said, I'm going to try to see if all of my personal enrolls that are going to come, of course, all of them may not come, but make the goal, because you don't ever know what's going to happen, you guys. This business is, where's my thing? This business is very unique in that, things happen when you believe. And so that's why I'm so glad that the convention is called Believe, because it's a magical thing. I see some people on here I've never seen before on the call. I want to thank you all for joining. Does anybody, I always like to open the call up for questions or comments before we leave, because I know I've done a lot of talking. But does anybody have any questions about anything or any comments about anything before we end the call?
Hi, this is Brenda Wright, and I have a question. Hi, Verdita.
Hi, Brenda.
Do you have any people out here in California, Los Angeles area that I might contact with?
Yeah, how long have you been in the business, Brenda?
2 weeks.
Oh, okay. There's a lady, and I'm not sure, and who's your upline?
Gwen.
Gwen Millsap?
Millsap. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And remember we talked on the phone, and Ruth Crosby.
Girls, I don't remember. I'm
But
sorry.
you do know Gwen, and she's on tonight too.
I know Gwen. I'm so sorry. It may have been late at night. I don't know. But either way, there's a okay, well, that could be why. But there's a lady out there named Renee Waite, who she's a senior director now. She's got, and I can share, Gwen can I can give this information to Gwen, or she can exchange our numbers. But Renee, I think she's been doing, let me see, is Renee on this call? Because she's been getting on here lately.
I am.
Hey, Renee.
Hey, Verdita.
Hey.
I was trying to find a place to message. I was trying to get it open.
You can share your
Brenda my phone number. I can't get it to come on for some reason.
I'll put mine on
show
there.
Your face too, Renee. Share your face so she can see.
I'm trying, but
and
I'm on somebody's tablet because my computer died, and
okay.
We have coming up here in May. There's gonna be the local Black station KJLH is having a wellness event for women, and I definitely want us to have a strong presence there. There's my number in the chat.
Yeah, and I think Gwen sent it to me as well. We can talk about some ideas. Will they allow you to have a table, like a booth?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Well, see, that's something that's in May. See, that's the thing you want to prepare for.
May the
We
11th.
May the 11th. Okay, well, we can give you some ideas on how to capture that. Matter of fact, I'm doing a video. Do you get a chance to say anything? Like, is it just a trade show, or do they let you get up on the stage and say something? Or
We will be in the vendor area and the ladies will be coming by and we can speak to them as the tables that they pass by.
okay, well, we can talk in more details about that, but you definitely want to have a banner so that, and you can get that on thisisitteam.com, and then over to the right where it says shop, I think some drop down bars, click on shop, and it'll take you to Vistaprint. We have our own banners, and we can show you how to do all that, okay? Because the banner is going to attract them to your table, and it would definitely be worth it because nobody's talking about stem cells. Nobody's talking about that. All right, we're going to help you with that. And thank you so much. And I'll give you Renee's number as well, because she, that's good to have someone else in the area that you can connect with. All
I have another question, if I may.
Okay.
What's the best way to learn how to place people when you are signing them up? The left side or the right side?
Well, the first thing, okay, go to thisisitteam.com and look at downloads. It has a form for getting to manager, and that's going to show you a diagram. There's 2 on your left, 2 on your right. Now, what you want to do is go to your back office at the very, very top where your name is, and click on I think it's change settings. Yeah, change settings, and scroll down and you'll see a place. I probably have to get on the phone with you separately, but other people might benefit from this discussion. You want to click on bill left or bill right, not anything about strong leg outside. So after when you bill, let's say you bill left, you put the first person on your left, and you immediately want to go to your back office and change it to bill right, so that the next person that you bring in will fall on your right. Because you want to get binary qualified first. That's your first goal, is to get binary qualified, meaning you got a person on your left and your right. After that, you can either put the next person on your right or switch them back to the left. But either way, 2 on your left, 2 on your right. That's very important. I highly recommend you do not go to your back office and click on enroll with the plus sign, because I'm in a situation right now where I'm having a lady that put someone in the wrong place. If you just do it this way and just go bill left, bill right, and go through your site to do it, you'll never have to worry about them falling in the wrong place. See, if you go to your back office, you will see a tab over that says enroll plus sign, and that will bring up your binary or something. I don't know what it does, but I just had a person today that put a person in, and it's too late to change them. And you don't ever want to place a person in somebody else's inside leg, So, but we're going to get corporate to change it, but it's a $50 fee once his 5 days is up. So you don't want that to happen.
That's what I wanted to know about, like, how do you know, like, which is the inside leg and which one isn't? Yeah. Because in the binary, you got stuff coming down and it comes down on one leg primarily, right? So
all you have to worry about is bill left, bill right. And the person is going, if you want that person to follow your left, just make sure the tab says click on change settings, bill left. They'll follow all the way where they're supposed to. You don't even have to worry about it. But if you see a plus sign in there somewhere and you start clicking on plus sign, you're going to get into trouble. I'll take time offline to go over that with you.
Thank you.
It's more of a detailed training. And a lot of this is on thisisitteam.com.
Okay.
Make sure you go through the onboarding process so that you can familiarize yourself with a lot of little things, because she talks about that on the onboarding process. Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
Thisisitteam.com onboarding. All right. Anybody else have any questions or comments before we end the call? All right. People are kind of quiet. Well, thank you, Brenda, for asking some questions, because everybody's kind of quiet tonight. But listen, you guys, don't forget now, starting Monday, we got this incentive trip qualification coming up. Don't forget to go and get your This Is It convention ticket, because you want to be there. That Orlando is the place to be in July, you guys. Okay. Oh, and so Renee is saying that she has a training recording on that, what you're talking about. but it is also on This Is It. But she said she'll send that in. We'll get that information to you, Brenda. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Anybody else before we end the call?
Verdita, I just wanted to say welcome to everyone that's new on the call. I also saw some new names. I know that I signed up a couple new people, and I just want to say welcome to everyone. And just glad that they decided to get on this call, because this is the call where we're making stuff happen.
Absolutely. You know, and Erica McQueen is one of the people that definitely demonstrates leadership. You know, is always helping her team doing private calls. You can always count on her communicating with her team, knowing everything that's going on. So that's an example of what we mean by you know, a leader standing out. So thank you so much for being the leader you are, Erica, and welcome to all the new people, everybody. We do the same call every Wednesday night. You know, I wasn't here last week because I had a very close friend of mine who passed, and I was at a funeral up in Iowa. But we normally do this call every Wednesday night at 9 o'clock. Thank you all for being here. And we'll record this. This call has been recorded, and we will send out the recording. Okay. Thank you. Have a good evening.
Thank you. Take care now.
Thank you.